Kris Jenner is getting dragged for covering up Rob Kardashian's alleged OD, and fans are saying all of this is happening because Rob was treated horribly and abandoned by his family, and now he needs serious intervention.
Allegedly, he was talking about missing his child, saying fame is not for him. Allegedly, there was a lot of paparazzi on the scene, but they were awaiting validation before being able to release the information in the States.
The news about Rob's alleged OD was reported in foreign media. However, almost none of the outlets in the US covered this story, which led to speculation that Kris Jenner pulled a few strings to cover up Rob's OD.
Prior to today, I had been checking Rob Kardashian's Instagram account, I think it was like after the Christmas thing, and noticed how he hadn't posted since November 10th until today, okay? So he just posted a few hours ago today. I think this confirms it for me, period.
So what is going on with Rob? Did he really OD? And did Kris Jenner try to cover it up? Let's investigate this.
I don't really want to deal with Rob right now.
Several French celebrity news outlets recently reported that Rob Kardashian was rushed to the hospital in the middle of the night in a serious state after he OD'd. But the US tabloids completely hid these reports, which prompted fans to accuse Kris Jenner of working overtime to hide this story. This news also reignited the conversation about the way Rob was always portrayed as the black sheep in the family, and compared to his sisters, Kris Jenner completely abandoned Rob. So to give you some context first, you probably know that Rob decided to remove himself from the spotlight a few years ago, and at the time it seemed like this was the best decision Rob could have made because he really struggled a lot during his time on the family's reality show. If you've been keeping up with the Kardashians from the start, then you know it's always been Kim and her sisters and Kate, and then Rob. Kris Jenner knew from the start that monetizing her daughter's sexuality is the only way to keep the family in the spotlight, so Rob and his career were never a priority for her.
My whole thing is my anger, a lot of it stems from like the working environment because they all kind of put this cloud on me like I'm a loser. Blow up later because when there's a business opportunity, all my mom obviously cares about is the 3 girls. And whenever I say, I want to open up a men's store.
But Mom never helped us with that.
Anyways, she's my mother.
And even when Rob tried to take initiative, his business ideas were quickly shot down, especially by Kim, who for some reason seemed to really enjoy picking on Rob.
And don't ever disrespect me and talk about how I'm a loser and I don't have a job. Because you say that to me on a daily and you say that to everyone. Bible on Dad, you definitely do. You probably say it maybe over 12 times a year.
You acted like my idea was crazy. I have like more right than you to use Arthur George. It's my middle name. It's crazy to me how she actually is trying to tell me that I can't use my middle name, my dad's middle name. We're family, like you're supposed to help each other, and I feel like nobody ever takes me seriously.
Things got even more difficult for Rob after his breakup with Rita Ora because he suddenly gained a lot of weight and the media started body shaming him on a daily basis. To make matters worse, Rob's own family tried to force him to get into shape quickly without realizing that his weight gain was the result of depression. And even Chloe, who constantly complains about body shaming herself, made fun of Rob's weight gain, and basically the whole family treated Rob's serious issues as just another storyline for their show. But Kim was especially cruel to Rob, and she reportedly body shamed him so much that he ended up skipping her and Kanye's Italian wedding. Rob arrived in Italy with the rest of the family ahead of the ceremony. However, just days later, he flew back home and was photographed in tears at the airport after allegedly getting into a huge fight with Kim.
Robert, are you in the family fight? Was everything in the family, Robert? It's your family. It's a bad omen that you missed the wedding. Robert, listen, you look great, Robert. Keep your head up, buddy. Keep your head up. I know it's hard, Robert.
According to New York Daily News, Rob said he was sickened by Kim and Kanye's display of wealth and clothes and beauty and called it superficial bullshit. As for Kim, she apparently only cared about Rob's appearance, and one insider claimed that Kim was pissed that Rob hadn't made an effort to drop weight before her wedding. However, Kim later denied getting into an argument with Rob, saying that she had nothing to do with Rob's decision to skip her wedding.
He sent me a long email the morning of that he was gonna leave, and there was no fight. And I just thought, you know what, this is my day. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I hope he's okay. I totally understand that he wouldn't wanna see a lot of people if he was feeling uncomfortable. And I just, you can only pray and wish that someone would not miss out in more memories in life, because life is about memories. So fix the problem. That's just how I am, but we didn't even have a conversation about it.
But see, no one really believed Kim was telling the truth because she previously tried to rally the family to cut off Rob and told them that they should give up on him.
We all make his life so easy. Okay, we'll drive you around with the chauffeur so no one has to look at you. We had a chef on standby. Everyone licks Rob's ass and does whatever he says. And it's just at some point you just have to give it up.
To make matters worse, it later turned out that it wasn't just Kim who attacked Rob over not losing weight, but Rob's own mother body shamed him. One source told Star magazine that Kris made Rob feel terrible in Italy about his weight, and she bashed him for ruining the image of the family. The world thinks the Kardashians are so happy, but Kris treats Rob like dirt. He says she's a monster, the insider said, adding that Kris says Rob is the only one of her kids who is an embarrassment, an obese person with a failed sock line. Of course, it's never been confirmed that Kris actually used these words to describe Rob, but it definitely seems like she's more concerned about the family's image than Rob's well-being. And this news story about Rob's alleged OD is just another example of this. According to a popular French blogger who goes by the name Aquababe on Instagram, Rob recently OD'd and was brought to the hospital at 3 a.m. on December 27th, unconscious with a pale face and blue lips. The French blogger reported that Rob OD'd on alcohol and oxy, and he had traces of fentanyl in his blood. According to this report, Rob was completely out of it when they brought him to the hospital, and after he regained consciousness, he started crying and screaming about how Blac Chyna ruined his life and how he wanted to see his daughter instead of being locked in rehab. The report also alleges that Rob screamed, "I can't enjoy time with my kid without snakes and crows monitoring my attitude and behavior." And then he told the hospital staff he wanted to die and that celebrity life isn't for him. Rob allegedly instructed his security guards to call Kris Jenner, but when Kris arrived with Khloe, the report claims she seemed more worried about the paparazzi who had gathered in front of the hospital than about Rob. According to Aquababe, Kris immediately called the hospital and directed that no information leak to the press. And though US media didn't report on this story at all, it's interesting that right around this time, Kris and Kim both started promoting Rob's clothing brand, Halfway Dead, on their social media. Kim shared an IG story showing a cardboard box full of Halfway Dead clothes, and though Rob's voice can be heard in the background, there was something off about this video, and it almost sounded like Rob's voice was added on. And then, on December 31st, Rob's Instagram account also posted a promo photo of Rob's clothing line. But if you look at the bio on this account, it says, Robert Kardashian does not post to this account. The account is run by Jenner Communications. In other words, Kris Jenner is in control of Rob's Instagram, which explains why the entire feed is just photos of Rob's daughter Dream, aka another girl Kris can monetize. But does Kris Jenner really have that much power that she blocked the US tabloids from reporting on Rob's OD? Well, it's definitely possible considering how many clicks or revenue the Kar-Jenner family generates for the tabloids. Besides that, Kris is one of the most well-connected women in Hollywood, and she happens to be close friends with a number of powerful media people, including Harvey Levin, the founder of TMZ. Also, the Kardashians can't really afford another negative story right now because it's pretty obvious people are getting tired of them, and plus, they're still getting backlash for the way they handled the Balenciaga scandal. So it's not exactly far-fetched to think Kris Jenner would use her connections with the tabloids to cover up Rob's alleged OD. As for fans' reactions to these allegations, they're convinced Kris would do something like this because at the end of the day, she will always put profit before any principles. One fan on Reddit said this is all happening because Kim constantly picked on Rob to emasculate him, and Kris defended Kim because she's the golden child. Rob was always a reminder of Kris's ex-husband, whom she cheated on numerous times, the fan added. Many fans are also speculating that Rob's probably dealt with substance issues for years, but Kris made sure the media only talked about his food addiction and depression because it's less damaging for the Kardashian brand. Maybe this is why he's a recluse, one person commented. This may have been a hidden thing all these years, but they explained it as just depression. It's not on brand, so they manipulated the media. But what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Kris Jenner actually tried to cover up Rob's alleged OD? Let us know in the comments, and if you thought this story was messy, make sure to check out this next video.